Hey Dumplings, it's Dave Decide. Today we have to talk about V and what happened at the Paris CELINE Fashion Show and what's real and what isn't. People are concerned for V's safety, but then also what V had said about situations like this before. I also wanted to get into V and Lisa's message to the world. So hater or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, he's spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. If you aren't aware, V and Lisa went ahead and lit the whole world on fire yesterday when they appeared at the CELINE Fashion Show together. Well, they appeared together way before then, but it was only during the fashion show where they publicly seen together talking and all that. And there's photos of Lisa, Taehyung, and BEGS together. This is something that the fandom never expected or thought would ever happen. And if you don't know what the issue between Taehyung and Lisa is, there isn't an issue. But the fandom created the issue where they believe BTS and Blackpink hate each other. And all it really was just the rivalry created by the fans, and not ever because the two actually had any sort of rivalry. You can very much like BTS and Blackpink and like both their music, but it's safe to say that a lot of people may prefer one group to another because the music between both groups are so different. Now, the flight over to Paris caused a huge news storm, and everyone ended up talking about how Lisa and Taehyung were together on the plane. And then rumors started to surface of the plane being Lisa's own private jet that she bought and that she invited Taehyung to come along. I don't know where this came from, and I don't think this is true. I think it's very easy to think that when you're a millionaire, you just buy things, but millionaires are usually very smart with their money and don't just spend it all. A private jet is very expensive and costs upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even monthly, to fly and maintain. It's literally a money hole, and the only reason why these billionaires have them is because they need to fly somewhere very quickly, and the cost of running the jet is actually much less than the money they'd lose if they were late to their next appointment. So the jet becomes worth it. It actually saves them money. But I'm pretty sure if YG needed the girls in Blackpink to go somewhere, they have their own mode of transportation or jet, and there's no need for Lisa to have one for casual use. Honestly, I don't think any millionaire has a jet just for casual use. It may seem like they're just casually using it, but it's always for business, and they would refrain from using it too much because it's not great for the environment. So that was just a weird rumor that I wanted to talk about. I don't think it's true. Other rumors and theories surrounding the two coming together were interesting as well. There's the obvious elephant in the room that everyone thinks the two are dating, but that's a rumor and they'll deal with that for the rest of their lives. But then there's another theory that the two being together is simply a middle finger to all the fan wars. This was V's angry gesture to all the rude comments. Blackpink and BTS fans fight a lot, and the two sometimes trend something online to rile the other fandom up. Let's just say both fandoms are guilty of this. I'm not taking sides on one or the other. During the fashion show, both my husband and wife, Lisa and Taehyung, did not shy away from talking to each other and being cute with each other in a friendly way. There was even a shot going around where it appeared like Lisa was telling Taehyung a secret, or maybe a little tea, who knows, but they seemed to really know each other and were kind to each other, and I can only hope for this. I think they're really pushing the limits here and really showing that the quote-unquote beef and drama that exists online is so dumb. People literally look for things to be upset about. There was a girl who I don't want to directly show or give her at or anything like that. I don't want her to get more hate, but she posted a photo where she was at a fashion show and she took a picture next to Taehyung. She's clearly a fan. Her whole page has been in support of BTS, but people called her attention-seeking for posting the photo and that she was asking for hate, and this is what she wanted when she posted the photo. People were pulling up tweets where she mentions BTS, like just talking about them, and saying that her talking about them means she hates them, but when the tweets are all in support of the boys. It's so funny how a tweet for a fan can say, I love BTS, and then a hater will screenshot that and use that screenshot to say, look, this person, she's not a fan, she hates BTS because she wrote this. And then the replies to the hater comment are like, oh, I didn't know that, thank you, I will not support her, or whatever. I feel so bad for this girl who is not famous. She does not have hundreds of thousands of followers. She's getting attacked after just taking a picture next to Taehyung, and that picture went viral. People were digging up tweets and making up their own narrative why this fan is bad, coming up with theories like this fan stalked Taehyung and followed him to his hotel. There's no evidence of this, and you know what's crazy? People just believe it, and then they get adamantly mad, like start cursing, writing these essays, like 3-page essays on how bad this fan is and all that, and all the stuff in the essay is made up. What's the point of this? This is so funny to me. These people are so mad at a person who they do not know, and to me it's just because of jealousy. And it's one thing if it's one person, but it's like thousands of people that jump on this and send hate without any reason. That makes the fandom not want to show any public support. If there's a new comeback or whatever, people with a bigger following will be scared to show support in fear that the comments will be people making stuff up. But it doesn't seem like Taehyung was in any danger. And actually the CELINE security team seemed like they did a very good job. No one was that close to Taehyung or any of the stars, at least not to the point where they could physically touch him or whatever. And everyone from Taehyung, Lisa, Bogum were all so nice to all of the people that showed up for them and greeted them the best they could. Taehyung would stop occasionally and wave and try his best to acknowledge everyone. A lot of people were simply there to see him. A simple wave from him could even make someone's day, even if they did travel like 2 hours just for that wave. That was all very sweet, and this is no obligation for them. They don't have to wave that extensively, and if they didn't, they wouldn't necessarily be called rude, as most people would just assume that the team told them not to wave. But they did, and they seemed very happy. Now, there was an incident that was definitely more controversial and bad. A fan posted a video that has now been deleted of when Taehyung hopped into his car to leave the show. Taehyung rolled down his window to say bye to everyone. Again, he didn't have to do that. Most people just go ahead and leave and keep their window up. I can only imagine how exhausting it is to know that so many people are staring at you and then finally getting in your car and your tinted window and then being able to turn off without judgment. But Taehyung didn't want to turn off yet and wanted to say goodbye. A couple of people waved and then one person stuck their hand in the window. Obviously that is weird because this is very much in their personal space. And let's not even talk about how Taehyung would feel when a random hand is shoved in his face, but let's talk about how dangerous this is for the person who did this. So if the car drives off fast, your hand will be hit. If Taehyung did not see your hand or freaks out and reflexively rolls up the window, your hand will be stuck and you're dragged by the car. And then the other thing that could happen is if the car drives forward, your hand would slap Taehyung right in the face. People were saying that Taehyung has been previously open about how he feels about sasaeng fans and begging for them to stop. While this is something that he probably strongly feels about, I don't know if this situation counts as that, because I understand when you meet someone who you've looked up to or love, you can kind of freak out and not really think at that moment, and that's understandable. But hopefully don't make that mistake again. This video is gone now and it seems like they understood that this was wrong. People were calling the action of sticking your hand into the car window or not respecting personal space is what a stalker fan does or a sasaeng fan. I don't consider this particular action on its own as a sasaeng fan. I consider it more of just a mistake. Again, sometimes we don't think clearly. We might in our normal calm times know that this is something we shouldn't do, but then when something as crazy as a celebrity being right in front of you, you almost don't know what to do and you wouldn't know how you'd react unless you were in that situation. It's almost like this story that my mom says where this woman's house was on fire and she forgets to grab her kids, but instead rips off the toilet seat and runs outside. You don't know what you do unless you're in that situation. There's so many of these situations that happen in the last day or so after the Paris show was announced. So many fan accounts or dedicated Taehyung accounts were posting about how they were in Paris and people claiming that they are sasaeng fans. Could be, right? This is a possibility. But someone traveling to potentially meet the celebrity is not a stalker. A stalker is someone that breaks into their hotel. A stalker is not someone who would fly around the world just to go to multiple BTS concerts. That's just a rich person. If people were flying to Paris just to see Taehyung at the fashion show or get a picture or whatever, that's just a real supporter right there. Nothing illegal and definitely not invading any personal space. If they do more than that, then that's not acceptable. But if they're just kind and all they did was fly over, definitely not a bad thing. But what do you think? Do you think there was a lot of stalker fans at this event? And how do you think Taehyung feels about it? Also, how do you feel about V and Lisa's metaphorical symbolic middle finger to all the people who start fan wars between the two groups? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Leave just a lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.